This is Inside Edition with Marcus Palumbo.
This is Inside Edition with Marcus Palumbo. Today we are investigating one of the most infamous criminals of all time, Macbeth. Everyone has heard of Macbeth, but few know the true story of Macbeth. Until now.
Our story begins in Scotland. Macbeth is an honorable and courageous military leader who is returning home from battle. He and his good friend Banquo are walking along a road, much like this road here. Along the road, they encounter three witches, who tell them a prophecy. In this prophecy, they learn that Macbeth will become Thane of Cawdor, and Banquo's sons will be kings. From these innocent beginnings rise Macbeth's tyrannical reign. But is he really the murderous monster that he's made out to be? In this report, I've interviewed several experts who will hopefully shine some light on this confusing situation.
We begin our investigation by hearing from historian Dr. Helen Hepburn, whose book, Medieval Feminism, is a New York Times bestseller. Dr. Hepburn, in your book, you point to Lady Macbeth as the driving force behind Macbeth's rise to power.
Yes, Lady Macbeth was a remarkable woman. She was a powerful partner for Macbeth and provided much-needed direction for his ambition. She convinced him to get off his underachieving derriere and kill Duncan so that the Macbeths could rule.
Well, Dr. Hepburn, thank you for your perspective on this controversial subject. After the murder of King Duncan, his sons flee to England. So far, no one suspects Macbeth of anything, except Banquo. He suspects that Macbeth is responsible for the murder of King Duncan, and Macbeth knows it. After searching through old vaults in Macbeth's castle, we discovered a long-lost videotape of an interrogation of one of Macbeth's servants. Here, for the first time, is that video. Tell us what you know.
No.
Tell us.
No, I won't.
Tell us.
Okay, fine. Macbeth arranged for Banquo and his son Fleance to be murdered by some of his servants.
How do you know it was the servants?
One of them was I.
And were you successful in the murder?
Banquo was killed, but Fleance got away.
After seeing this revealing footage, we got a hold of the servant's great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson, who was a mildly good actor. With his help, we did a dramatic reenactment to show how this went down.
Son, I'm your dad.
Okay.
Help me!
At this point, Macbeth is spiraling downward. To learn more about this, we brought in psychologist Dr. John Dover. Dr. Dover, what can you tell us about Macbeth's mental state? Are we dealing with a madman here, or is he just a little eccentric? This is an unusual case, but I have seen it before. His madness seems to be a result of a chronic need to have more power. It is probably also the result of a troubled relationship with his mother. It usually is. He wants power, but the things he must do to get power tear at his conscience, causing madness. Do you think Macbeth wanted power before the murders, or did he decide he wanted power after the first murder? I think that he always has wanted power, but he never took action on that until Lady Macbeth convinced him to. Thank you for your time. So it sounds like from our experts that the Macbeths are both responsible for these murders. And indeed, they did pay for their crimes with their lives. But, was justice really served? Could all these murders be on someone else's hands? Could possibly the witches, who told Macbeth in the first place that he would rise to power, could they be the really guilty party in this twisted murderous mayhem? We've brought in a legal expert to help us make sense of all this. Welcome, Attorney John Dover, Esquire? Welcome, Attorney, Dover? Ah, yes, thank you. So, Attorney Dover, in this whole murderous Macbeth mayhem, could the witches be to blame? Is there any liability here? Well, without any physical evidence, liability is hard to prove. If we had any evidence, say Instagram activity, or Facebook updates or tweets, we might be able to link the witches to this. Well, this just in. We've just been handed a document, excavated from the witches' cave, which suggests that this was their plan all along. In fact, after that first meeting on the road, Macbeth knowingly visited the witches again, and they gave him 4 prophecies, one of which showed him that he must get rid of Macduff. Is a prophecy a binding contract, or is that more of a brainwashing situation? I've pioneered divination and prophecy law. That Harry Potter prophecy business paid for my condo in the Bahamas. I think there may be a case here against the witches.
Thank you, Attorney Dover. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The witches are now prime suspects, and you heard it here first on Inside Edition. And now, a word from our sponsors. This Inside Edition sponsored by What the Ball, America's newest national pastime. Come get your official What the Ball bat, ball, and lacrosse stick at www.whattheball.com. Welcome back. We've been tracing the story of the demise of Scotland's tyrant, Macbeth, and the murderous Macbeth mayhem. Clearly, the witches are the real villains in this scenario. But what of the heroes? Following so many murders, the Thane, Macduff, emerges as a hero. Macduff and several other Scottish thanes are ready to lead the English forces to attack Macbeth's castle. The soldiers disguise themselves with tree branches to create the illusion that the woods are moving in towards the castle. To get a better picture of this event, I decided to visit the castle for myself.
Here at Macbeth's castle, you can really picture how the battle took place. In the years since the battle, it's become somewhat of a tourist attraction, attracting many visitors from all across Scotland. And right here, you can see the spot where Macduff killed Macbeth and freed Scotland for many years to come. There's a lot of history in this spot. After that, the story passed into legend and was still shrouded in mystery, until now.
Next time on Inside Edition, could the makers of The Lion King be sued by the heir to the Prince of Denmark for stealing his biographical memoirs? Next time on Inside Edition.